Well, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2012 and also to the first video blog going with our newsletters in the new year. I hope over the past couple weeks you've had a chance to gather with family and friends and celebrate the season and also kick off yet another new year. Speaking of the new year, we were doing a couple of things new this season. The first one is we're going to have the video blog. In the video blog, I'm going to discuss what's going on each week, the topics that are in the newsletter, and also some commentary and general discussion. The second part is a cartoon is going to be included in each week. It's going to be a topical cartoon, either on leadership, change management, or various parts of entrepreneurship. And the third part is we're going to have a lot more guest bloggers this year. And this is going to be really exciting to provide you some additional insights and education on related but different topics. For example, this week's guest blogger is going to be on social media. We'll talk about that in just a couple minutes. So, the first thing, the video. Here, you get to listen to what I'm thinking about, what I'm talking about, what we're working on, some important issues or new topics. And we hope that you find some value in this and you also share it around. And that it's a little different from just reading a newsletter all the time. The second part is the cartoon. And this week's cartoon is a way to kick off the year. Unfortunately, from a big picture sense, 2012 does not necessarily look like it's going to be a whole lot better in 2011 in many ways. And as entrepreneurs and business people and capitalists, we have to remember to stay focused on the things that we can influence, the areas that we can impact on life. And something that we all deal with tend to be three common areas. And these are the ones of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And those are in the red letters here, as you can see them. And from those, we get a lot of other issues that spiral off of them, whether it's politics, the news, the recession, taxes, and some kind of new regulation in our business. And what's important for us to remember is to stay focused on the items that we can impact. So, for those of you beyond the borders of the USA, this year is an election year for us here. So, we get to make an impact and feedback on who our leaders will be for the next 2 to 4 years, or 2 to 6 years, depending on which office they're holding. So, we vote for president, representatives, senators, and also a lot of state and local officials. So we do get to do that this year, and it's very important to be educated as a business person to cast your vote responsibly. But aside from that, we need to stay focused on our businesses and on our lives. What are the areas that we can work in? What are the areas that we can focus on? And to everything else, just like in the cartoon, kind of need to shoot the rest of the world a bird. Tell it all to screw off, because it doesn't matter. We need to focus on the areas that we can work, the way that we can impact stuff, and we need to do it in a dedicated and committed fashion. It's also a good chance to reevaluate some of your associations. Are you hanging around people that might be negative Nancy's? Are they, down talking the economy, the world, maybe yourself? Maybe they're like, you can't really be successful at business. And so it's really a time to sit back and think about that. And are these the right people to affiliate with? And if they're not, there's nothing wrong in saying that you need to find some new people. Now, if they're family, completely different ballgame. You've got to figure a way to maintain the peace and minimize your exposure to negative thoughts. But it is important that we stay focused. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt only exist if we allow them. Most fears are not realized. Uncertainty is constant. And doubt is something that eats away at our confidence. So let's focus against these things. Let's focus to have a productive and great 2012, because it's going to be the business people, it's going to be the entrepreneurs and the capitalists that are going to lead not only the USA, but also the world out of this recession. So hope you enjoy the cartoon. Print it out, post it up. There's also going to be a download link where you can download it for an image that you can use as a desktop wallpaper for your computer, or also just on a 8.5 by 11 paper to pin on your wall or in your cubicle. So let's move on to the next item, and that is our guest blogger. This week, our guest blogger is George Kosopoulos, who is a founder of Orion Social Marketing, and he has written an introductory article on what are the benefits of social media for business. And so I'm not going to steal any of George's thunder. I want you to go and read his article. There's also a link to his website. And so even if you think you know, it might give a different way to think about a couple different things. And if you are not familiar with social media at this point, it's a great primer. And then if you have questions or maybe looking for someone to help you with your social media presence on the web, you can contact George. He can do a great job for you with him and his partners at Orion Social Marketing. The next article is one I wrote on momentum. And momentum is something that we have, but we are not always aware of it. It can propel you to the next level of success, or it can drag you under into failure and defeat. So it's really important to recognize that it exists, and also that decisions that each of us makes can drastically impact how that momentum works for us, or how it can also work against us. With that being said, I'd like to share with how I was inspired to write this article. I was at a family wedding in Cleveland, Ohio this past summer. And we were out there dancing, and one of our uncles was leading us in the Michael Jackson Thriller dance, the one where you're like, oh, shuffling across the floor. And it was a lot of fun. There's like 20, 30 of us out there dancing, having a great time. And then that song ends. And so we're all kind of waiting for the next song, getting ready to dance again. And the next song ended up being Madonna's Like a Prayer. Not her most danceable song, at least in my humble opinion. And apparently most other people on the dance floor shared this opinion. And everybody left the dance floor. The momentum of fun on that dance floor got evaporated by the DJ. And the same thing can happen in life. And in the article that I wrote, I used the analogy of surfing and learning to pick the right waves versus the wrong waves. The waves that'll take you to a nice, soft, sandy beach, or a wave that'll take you into the rocks, which no one wants to end up at. So it's a lot of momentum is determined by the decisions we make, where we go, what actions we take, when we do them. So read the article. Let me know what you think. Agree? Disagree? And I hope that you can use that to build a wave of positive momentum to help propel you into 2012 for a prosperous year, for a successful year.